In this video, we're going to look at how we can create an Electron app that allows you to view and edit PDFs. So we'll start by using npx create Electron app at latest, give it a name of my app, and specify the template of Vite. This will start the scaffolding process, which will take a few minutes to run, so we'll speed that part up. Now I'm using Windows, but you should get similar results with macOS or Linux. Once that's complete, navigate to the new folder. And I'm going to use Visual Studio Code because I like working in that environment and it's an Electron app after all. So I'll use code dot and then I can see all the files that are present within VS Code. Now I'll start the default app using npm run start. At the moment I'm showing the dev tools, which is great if you need to do any debugging, and by all means have a look at the app. But for now let's close it and add the PDF editor into our project. So let's do npm install at pdftron/webviewer. This will take a few moments to run. When it completes, the WebViewer executable files will be present in Node modules. We also need to copy some of those files, the core and UI folders, so that they're available to the client at runtime. So we'll paste those into a new folder called public/lib/webviewer. Great. Now let's start editing the code. The first thing we'll do in index.html is we'll get rid of some of the code that's there and we'll add a div element. And this is where we're going to mount WebViewer when it's being constructed. We'll give it a class of WebViewer to allow it to be styled later using CSS, and an ID of viewer, which will be used to identify this div element when we're constructing it later on in render.js. Great. Now let's go to render.js, and once again we can delete much of what's there. We need to import WebViewer from at pdftron/webviewer. And then we need to create a constructor for WebViewer. Now this takes a set of properties, and it also needs to know the viewer element where WebViewer should be placed when it's being constructed. And we'll do that using document.getElementById using viewer, which we specified earlier. It also returns a promise from which we can get the instance object that allows us to interact with the WebViewer API. In this case, we're going to say enable the features and the feature of content editing. But we could do many other things with the API. Check out the documentation. Now let's specify the options for WebViewer. We need to specify the path to the core and UI folders that we copied earlier. And we also need to specify a license key. I'm just going to use the string your license key, but you should replace it with one that you can get from the Apryse website. I'm also going to specify an initial document. Now let's modify the default CSS and just take out a couple of those rules. Great. We're now ready to save everything and restart our app. So here's the app running. I'll close DevTools for now, but you can use those for debugging if you need to. And within a few moments we have a PDF appear. But this Electron app is much more than just a PDF viewer. We also have the option to edit the content. Prior to 2023, Apryse was known as PDFtron, and we had some great documents we'd put together. But now we need to change that name. And this is not an unusual scenario. What we can do, because we can edit the actual contents of the PDF, is import a new Apryse logo and place it in front of the PDFtron one. And then we can resize it and we can move it as we need to. That's pretty clever. But now it's covering some of the text. We can't see the word WebViewer. That's okay. We can also move that text within the PDF. Let's also take the opportunity to replace the phrase online demo with something more interesting. So let's say allows you to edit docx files entirely within the browser. We can do much more than just change the text. We can also change the font. and change the font size. Change the location of the text, make it bold or non-bold, or even change the colour. And when we're ready, we can save this PDF. And then you can open the PDF in a different browser, and these changes will still be there. That's awesome. And we've only started to scratch the surface of what WebViewer can do for you. Check out our other videos to see what else we can do. And if you've enjoyed this one, click on subscribe, and you'll hear when we have new videos released. Thank you for watching. Catch you next time.